Greetings, Earthlings. GuitManndude here at Guit Con with Pete Thorn.
Hi.
Great to see you.
Great to see you too for the first time.
I know, you're right.
A lot of people, right?
Have you been having fun?
Yeah, I'm holding a sparkly base here, so how could I not be having fun?
Absolutely. You should get, I think Sir needs to do limited edition.
Right?
Pete Thorn. Guitar and amp match.
I think so. I think so. All like this. This is fun in an instrument. That's what this is. It's just like a fun time.
That was why I put it in the background here for my my talk show.
Here, I'll put it back.
No, you can. It goes with your hair too. Actually, it's got a little bit.
I gotta mix it up, you know. So I don't know what it is today. It's blue or purple or something. I
like it because I'm a Vikings fan. So to me, it's purple.
There you go.
There's no doubt about it. When did you first start your YouTube channel?
2006.
Wow. Yeah. You were there when it was a baby.
Yeah, I didn't do much though for a couple years.
Yeah.
I uploaded a few videos.
You've had other things going on.
Well, you know, like everybody, and this is why I started with a dumb acronym for my YouTube name, SINASL1, because I didn't think it was going to be something that I did that was going to be some kind of...
Tell me about it.
Right? And so... you know, I didn't start with a great name and all that, but it's like then it, you know, I think it was around like 2007 or 8. First year thing I did was the Sir Badger amp. I think like I had uploaded a couple, you know, recorded my Comet amp at home.
Yeah.
You know, a couple things like that. But the first sort of gear thing that I did, where I was talking about it and demonstrating it or whatever, was the Badger 18. Yeah. So
that's
so
cool.
That was 2007, I think, when I did that. So.
Do you have rigs in the States and Japan? Do you have like traveling multiple rigs?
That's a good question. So in Japan, it's worked out pretty well. There's a guy there that has an amazing collection of amplifiers, like amazing collection of old Marshalls and all kinds of stuff. And he has a PT100. And he's a nice guy and a great guitar player and stuff. And he has been kind enough to lend us that amp for use when I go over there and tour sometimes. So that's been really helpful.
His name's not Talk, is it?
No,
Cause. I mean Cause.
Yeah, no.
Okay, sorry.
But he's so that's been really helpful. You know?
Hell yeah.
So he gives us an amp and cab, and then the local distributor, a Japanese distributor, generally what they've done is they've ordered an amp, you know, got it over there, and I'll use it for the tour for like the course of a couple months I'm there or whatever, and then I sign it and they sell it.
Oh, hell yeah.
And, you know, then it's an amp that was used on tour.
Yeah, oh yeah, they love it. That's great.
Yoshi Nagabuchi and me playing guitar, and I guess people dig that factor.
How is it going to guitar stores over there? Because I work in a guitar store in Louisville, Kentucky, and we sell a ton of gear to the Japanese, mainly the Kurosawas, but also just individual guys like, oh gosh, Dear Prudence and Hyper Guitars and all of them. So I assume that
Hyper is such a...
that's Cause.
Wow, well that story is, Hyper Guitars is... It's just shocking.
I can only imagine.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally like, you know, a case full of like gold top Les Pauls.
These guys are meticulous. They make me take stuff apart in front of them at guitar shows. We've got a table. I mean, every screw, it's just...
So it's vintage that you do?
Well, yeah, we not as much anymore. Now we're doing, you know, Sir and Mayonis and stuff like that, because the vintage market is, you know, choke on it, but it's dying because everybody wants to sell it. Our generation's not buying it for $20,000, $30,000, $40,000. We're like, I'd rather spend $3,000 or $4,000 on the perfect Sir Telecaster than save up 25 grand for a Blackguard, you know?
Right.
Of course I want a Blackguard. Who doesn't? But
it's unattainable for a lot of folks.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely.
But I've always wondered, you know, what it's like walking in. When I'm selling this stuff to these guys, I'm like, their stores must be just mind-blowing.
It's mind-blowing. It's a lot of really good stuff. So literally, like Hyper, you go down this stairway and there's rock posters and frames all the way down. And you come down in, and it's like this oasis of like I'm not kidding. There's like a case full of 50s Les Pauls. So it's like gold tops and black customs. You know, they kind of keep there's a couple bursts, but they're under glass in another place. And then there'd be like a case full of 345s and 335s, like maybe 10 or 12 of them, all 60s. And then there's a case full of 50s and 60s Strats, like probably like, you know, 15 different 50s and 60s Strats. Flying V's.
Yeah.
You know, they got Flying V's from, you know, the original like 58s and stuff like
Explorers
that.
Probably.
Yeah, from both like the you know, from the late 50s, and then when they were reissued, there's like 67 Vs and stuff like that, and then the mid 70s ones. You know, they've got it all.
Yeah.
You know, SG specials
and they've had it forever. We've been shipping them stuff. We used to in the 80s go to the not the hardware, but like the appliance store and get refrigerator boxes and fill these things up with Mustangs and Strats and Tellys and just cramming them as many as you can in there and having a shipping company come pick it up and sending them over to Japan.
Yeah, that's how a lot. I mean, I think it was like the '80s was like, you know, the economy was booming, and they're really into American culture there and stuff, and music, and so it's like that makes sense, you know. Some of them are coming back now, I think, because it's like, you know, I think that you know, the economy's not what it once was. And stuff like that.
And global market now, we're buying things from Japan as opposed to selling things. You can buy something on Reverb.
That's right.
And it can come from anywhere.
It can come from anywhere.
You know, like that, the Reverb table upstairs, all that stuff is from one guy in Amsterdam. It's like it's his little Reverb shop. All he does is goofy pedals, you know.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Super cool.
You can buy anything you want anywhere. Can you imagine if it was like that when we were lads?
I know. Yeah, it's true. Well, it's all different now. It's true. Yeah, but it definitely opens it up. You know, it's kind of amazing. Anything you want, like, oh, I want a, you know, 68 plexi small box or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, you can get one. You might have to pay for it, but you can just go online and you'll find one.
You can get it, absolutely.
Yeah, it'll be.
So you're from Canada, eh?
Yeah,
I'm from Minnesota. You know, I had to get rid of the accent when I left there, but you know, sometimes it's easy to you fall right back into it.
Oh yeah, sure. You just got to give her, eh?
So I was asking people earlier today, just random questions like, you know, I'll start with you and we'll see if I can get you or not.
Yeah.
Cake or pie?
I'm gonna go with rhubarb pie because my mom made the best rhubarb pie.
Oh, my mom did too. My mom made rhubarb crisp. Very similar.
It's good stuff.
Hot
acquired taste, but
do you call it hot dish or casserole?
Casserole.
Yeah, we called it hot dish.
Wow.
I think Minnesota's more Canadian than Canada. It's possible.
North Dakota.
Cheech and Chong or Bob and Doug McKenzie?
Oh, dude, I'm gonna go Bob and Doug, but
they've only got one movie, so it's tough.
But you know, Cheech and Chong is West Coast, not kind of Canada. West
That's true. That's true.
You know, but I'm gonna go. You know,
oh, that's great.
Doug is where it's at.
That's the one I was gonna try to get you with. What have you got coming up?
What have I got coming up?
Tour-wise or whatnot, and playing-wise?
Well, there's a couple gigs in the far south of Japan in Kagoshima for New Year's Eve, day before, like the 30th and 31st.
Oh, no way.
So, yes, I'm going to be in Japan, I believe, for Christmas and New Year's.
Have you done that before?
No. So, Christmas in Tokyo.
New Year's in Japan is like landing on the moon. I mean, that's like supposed to be just something. Don't they celebrate New Year's a different time as well?
No.
Isn't there a...
No.
There's some sort of like... That's Chinese New Year.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
In Japan, it's the same.
I told you I'm from Minnesota. We're idiots.
That's okay. Well, you made me think about it. I'm like, is it?
I know. Oh, shit.
Yeah, no, it's the 30th and 31st. So Kagoshima, that's where Tyoshi Neguchi, the fellow I work with there, that's where he's from.
Yeah.
So he wants to do a hometown gig or two hometown gigs.
That's so cool.
So that'll be fun. I'll be there for a couple weeks, and then beyond that, we'll see what's happening next year. I believe there'll be more with him. I'm not 100% sure when, but he's got a new album out. So
cool.
So there'll be I'm sure some stuff coming up. I want to finish a record if I can before NAMM. It's ambitious, but I'm going to try and do it. I'm going to take 2 weeks in November and not do anything with videos or anything with anything else.
Have you got any of the backing tracks and stuff ready to go? Have you tracked?
5 songs where I've got bass and drums and guitars in various stages of completion.
Yeah.
So.
Are you singing on it?
No, it's going to be all.
Not at all.
I got this one song and I thought.
Secret song at the end, man.
Well, there's a tune that I wrote years ago and I'm singing on it and nobody's ever really heard me sing, so maybe I'll throw it on there.
Secret song, just like why is this last song say 15 minutes, but it was only 6 minutes long?
Could be.
Because there's 8 minutes of silence.
Silence.
And then it comes on.
And it freaks you out when it shows up.
Last question.
Yeah.
What sessions have you been on that you think most of your viewers probably have no idea that was you playing that? Have there been any? Like, for instance, I just found out today that Phil X played on Gavin DeGraw stuff.
Right.
We were talking about
Phil's done a ton of stuff.
Yeah, we were talking about guilty pleasures, and I said my guilty pleasure is Gavin DeGraw. It's like total pop, I love it to death.
Probably not a lot of people know I did like Alicia Keys. I played on a little bit on the As I Am.
Damn.
Was the name of the album. So I did that. Probably not a lot of people know that I used to tour with Five for Fighting, and I did a little bit of studio stuff with them. It was the band that had the song called Superman.
Yeah, absolutely.
Or like Daniel Powder was the guy that had Bad Day.
Yeah.
Have a Bad Day. That was like his big hit. James Blunt I did a little bit with.
Did you play on those actual radio cuts too?
Not on Bad Day. I did his whole next solo album. We did the whole record together. It was really fun, actually. Daniel's a sweet, sweet dude.
Yeah.
Super talented.
Oh yeah.
And so yeah, we got to spend.
Well, my wife burned that song out.
Yeah, it's a good tune. I mean, it was like, you know, he's really talented. I remember going into it and being like, Linda Perry was producing, and her #1 direction on that was like, look, he's not a rocker. This is like, you know, think like 70s, like think like Dan Fogelberg.
Right, yeah, yacht rock.
Just embrace it. You know? Just embrace it and go into it with that. And it was like, that's what we did. And I really liked Daniel's record. It was cool.
That's cool as hell.
So I'm not sure a lot of people heard it, but you know, whether or not.
See, that's a good question. Now that there's a lot of people that are probably very interested in that answer. That, you know, fans you've gained over the years and whatnot, is they'll be surprised. You might have just sold some records for those cats.
Yeah, maybe.
Or some singles, I should say.
Yeah, Daniel's second solo record. I don't know. Go check that out. There's a Courtney Love record that I did the whole thing that never got released.
Oh my God!
I hope it comes out someday, because I don't know if people know that we did that, but it was Billy Corgan and me and Linda, bass player named Paul Ill, a guy named Nate was the drummer, and Linda and Courtney, and we did this whole record. It's really like almost like a singer-songwriter. Like she's really singing on it.
Wow.
And it's not like...
Does Linda sing on it? Did you play with her in some stuff, or you just worked with her as a producer?
Yes, I worked with her in the capacity of sort of session guitarist.
I think a lot of people don't realize what she's done since Four Non-Blondes. You know, I think a lot of people are... I mean, musicians know, but, you know, like music lovers. My wife's a big music lover. She would have no idea that she wrote Beautiful or something like that.
Yeah, which was a big, you know, that
humongous.
Put her over the top.
And a great song.
It is an amazing song, and you know, and that was a personal one, because it was like she maybe didn't want to give that to another artist, you know, but then Christina did it, and it was something else. It really started with Pink.
Oh yeah.
She, you know, went in. They made the Pink album with "Get the Party Started," you know, that really put her on the map.
Wasn't Butch Walker involved in that too, or is that a different record?
That was later on. Yeah,
okay.
She worked with Butch later on, but that first album with "Get the Party Started," and I'm not, you know, I can't remember the other songs right now, but I mean that album where she just exploded. They did that in Linda's, as I understand it, in her like apartment. And,
wow.
Like, in, you know, North Hollywood or wherever she lived, or Sherman Oaks or something. And
that's funny.
Yeah, and Pink was a big Four Non-Blondes fan.
Yeah.
So, I love your band. I want you to help me, you know, make this record. You know, called her up one day or whatever. And Linda's like, okay, I guess, I don't know.
Oh.
And then they did that record together, and it just blew up. So, and then Christina was right after that, and then Linda was just off and running as a producer, which is great.
Good for her.
I love Linda. She's a.
That's cool. You get to meet an awful lot of really cool people. I bet that's really, really awesome.
I'm lucky.
And you're a cool guy, so they get to meet you, those fuckers.
Well, you're fucking cool too, dude.
Well, yeah, but nobody gets to meet me.
I don't know, man. Now you're here.
Things are different. Yeah, I've gone for it. What the hell?
Yeah, no, that's
what
good.
The hell? Well, I appreciate you taking time to talk to me and to talk to the minions.
My pleasure.
And let's crank a Plexi here in a little bit and see what happens.
Yeah, we're going to do that next door in just a second here. Plexi on 10, you got to play.
I'm going to do it.
Okay, it's going to be good.
Thank you.